What type of man are you now? Based on your childhood, what type of man are you? Are could be a loaded question. Father, whether you're married. So how does fatherhood look like? What does marriage look like for you?
This year will be my 32nd year being married.
Congratulations.
Um, Same woman, 30, only one marriage, 32nd year. Um, I have 6 kids, all ranging from 33 down to 20, and all successful, all doing what they're supposed to do. Um, the kind of man that I would describe myself to be today is I'm definitely a man of God. Okay, I'm God's son in that regard because God is the one who's brought me through all these years, coming from my background, if you will, right? I didn't do any of the stuff my father did. Praise God. Right? But I did do the stuff and am doing the stuff that he became after he gave his life back to the Lord. Okay. And so the kind of man that I am, I'm really, really resonant and anchored in making sure the example for my children. I don't practice what I preach. I preach what I practice. So it's important for me for them to see me do what I tell them to do. And anybody else for that matter. I don't have to pretend because this is just who I am and it's how I live. So um, authenticity is huge. So if I were to say that what kind of man I am today, when people say what you see is what you get, what you see is what you get.
What type of relationship do you have with your children?
Growing up as kids, they would say that I was disciplined. I was a disciplinarian, and I was a disciplinarian because that's how I was raised. Having a single mom, she had to be strong armed to make sure that her 2 sons would not get away from her. Okay,
Mhm.
so but as a father, being there for my kids the whole time, being a disciplinarian, instruction was important. Okay, um, discipline was important, but focus was also important. It was very important. Now, as they're adults, they better realize why I had them on the track that I had them on, because they're all pretty successful in what it is that they're doing. But it was really all because of a vision that I was given when they started coming into the world, that I needed to position them in order to train them up in the way that they should go. And you know what? They're seeing the result of that. So today, with them being adults, our relationship is great. But what I used to do with them in terms of instruction, I don't necessarily have to do that anymore. Being, their father, it's more counsel. What do you think? And I always tell them I don't have an opinion. I have to give you what God is telling me. So, but for the most part, they listen. They listen, and they're getting the results and seeing the fruit of that. So I'm pretty proud of them.
That's awesome. You mentioned that you were pretty militant. And so, with that being said, is there a tender side to you?
Oh
And if
yes,
can you expound on that a little bit pertaining to your children, your adult children,
yes,
your
yes,
affection, your love?
yes, yes. And I think I probably express it more through how I treat their mom. Right. I want them to see me love on their mom. They've always seen me love on their mom. Okay. And I've loved on them too. It's especially with my twin daughters. right? And they're 22 now, but they're funny in that regard, because I'm like, really, as it relates to those two, they kind of got me wrapped around their finger, if you will, in that regard. I always want to make sure that they don't have any stress at all. But at the same time, I want to make sure they understand how to move and how to be and how to do. So the balance between being former military, and my wife was former military as well. That's how we met. So there was structure there for discipline, but at the same time, I would play with my kids on the floor, when they were growing up. All my kids, when they were in their athletic exploits, was there at everything they did. Okay, so and encouraging them, pushing them, growing them, but also showing them the soft side when that soft side needed to be there, because I knew life wasn't just about go 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 go, do 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 do. You got to balance. You got to have some balance to this thing. But a lot of that expression of them being able to see that, yeah, I definitely wanted them to know that, yeah, I can be that. I'm there. I can do that. But they always saw it with me and their mom, because I wanted them to see it. I needed them to see it. And not having an example of that in my life, it was important for me to create the frame and the groundwork that was necessary for them to understand this is how you treat a woman. From my sons, and then from my daughters, understand this is how you need to be treated. And if you're not treated like that, then make the cut. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean, to me, it's important. It's important to have that balance and to understand what that is.
Absolutely. So this has been an exciting conversation here. Thank you for watching The Conversation with Elisa. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and please leave a comment.